I drove my drunk boss home, and the next morning she said, "Last night. Nothing happened, right?" The first time I realized how lonely my boss was, she was laughing too loudly at a joke no one had finished telling. It was past midnight at the office holiday party, the kind with forced smiles, lukewarm drinks, and conversations that sounded like resumes. Most people had already left. The music was low. The lights were harsh. And there she was, Claire Morgan, CEO, boardroom legend, woman who terrified grown men into rehearsing before meetings, standing alone near the bar with a glass she shouldn't have had. Then another. I wasn't supposed to notice. I was just her driver for the evening, the reliable one HR had assigned because I didn't drink and lived nearby. But when she stumbled slightly, catching herself on the counter, something in me shifted. "Keys," I said gently, holding out my hand. She looked at me like she was seeing me for the first time. "You're Daniel, right?" I nodded. "Let's get you home." She laughed again, short, brittle. God, I hate when people see me like this. That was the moment. Not the stumble. Not the drink. The sentence. The ride was quiet at first. City lights blurred past the windows. Claire stared straight ahead, her posture still perfect, even drunk. When we stopped at a red light, she finally spoke. "You know," she said, "people think power makes you invincible." I didn't respond. Some confessions need silence. "But it just makes you visible," she continued. "Everyone's watching. Waiting for cracks." Her voice softened. Tonight, I cracked. When we arrived at her apartment building, she fumbled with the door code, frustration flashing across her face. "Hey," I said, steadying her. "You're okay. I've got you." She looked up at me, eyes glassy. "You don't have to." "I know." Inside, her apartment was immaculate. Too immaculate. No photos. No clutter. No signs of a life lived outside deadlines. She kicked off her heels and sat on the couch, suddenly exhausted. I brought her water, placed it on the table, and stepped back. "Thank you," she murmured. I grabbed a blanket from the guest room and draped it over her shoulders. She didn't move. Just held the glass with both hands. "Daniel," she said quietly. "Yes?" "Promise me something." I hesitated. "What?" "If I ask tomorrow, tell me nothing happened." I met her eyes. Nothing happened. She exhaled, relief washing over her face. Good. I let myself out and drove home, replaying the night in my head, not because of what almost happened, but because of what didn't. The next morning, the office buzzed like nothing unusual had occurred. Emails. Meetings. Coffee. Claire walked in sharp as ever, heels clicking, hair perfect. She called me into her office. The door closed. She didn't sit down. "Last night," she said carefully, "nothing happened. Right?" Her eyes searched mine, not for desire, but for safety. I smiled. "You got home. You drank water. You slept. That's it." She nodded, shoulders dropping. "Thank you." Then she surprised me. "I was scared," she admitted. "Not of you. Of myself. Of being seen, weak." I chose my words slowly. Kindness isn't weakness. She studied me like that thought had never crossed her mind. "Take the rest of the day off," she said. "Paid." I shook my head. "I'm okay." She smiled, genuinely this time. "I know. That's why." Weeks passed. Then months. Something changed, not just in her, but in the office. Claire started asking people how they were doing. Really asking. She stayed late to help interns. She laughed more, softer. One afternoon, she stopped me in the hallway. "Daniel," she said, "I wanted you to know, that night saved me." I frowned. "I just drove you home." She shook her head. "No. You treated me like a human being when I forgot I was one." She paused. "I've been trying to do the same since then." That night never came up again. No rumors. No awkwardness. Just quiet respect. And sometimes, that's the most powerful thing kindness can create. Because the greatest acts of humanity aren't loud. They're the ones that leave no trace, except a better person behind.